I'm telling you, I flashed back till I was about 13 years old, and I was in line to go on Space Mountain at Disney, where you see the signs like, if you have high blood pressure, do not ride this ride. If you
Yeah.
do not ride this ride. And I'm like, Shelly, I don't think we're supposed to be on this road. And I was like, Rick Steves said.
Hey there, and welcome to Wandering Works for Us. We're Shelley and Beth, a married couple living in Portugal and exploring the world one story at a time. Come wander with us as we laugh through language fails, cultural surprises, and GPS disasters, and discover just how amazing this world can be. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast, Wandering Works for Us. I'm Shelley.
And I'm Beth.
And today we have Julie back with us.
Yay! Hello.
Hi, Julie.
Hi.
And so this is part 2 of our epic Ireland trip. Part 1 was all of Dublin, our 3 days in Dublin. And now we're going to hit the road and head west. Did we go west?
Yes.
In Ireland to see the real Ireland, as we were told.
Yes.
Which was not Dublin, apparently.
Well, that's Ireland, but when I think of Ireland, I think of rolling green hills and sheep and stone dividers in the fields.
Well, what a coincidence. That's what we saw.
It worked.
It worked. So we had to go rent a car in Dublin. And on our way to the airport, or as we were leaving the hotel of the airport, we had a minor problem, we'll call it.
Yes.
Julie's suitcase broke on us.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Now, granted, I had told Julie, try to pack lightly. You know, carry on a backpack. That's all you're going to need for 10 days. No problem. And she packed a carry-on, and she filled it full. Very full.
And I didn't have to unzip it. I didn't have to expand it.
That's true.
Oh, that was good.
She did not have to do any of that. But the thing about this poor suitcase is it was rather old.
Yeah, it was old. Okay, backstory on the suitcase, if we have time. Shelley has always been a world traveler, and about 15 years ago, I'm guessing, she borrowed a carry-on suitcase from me to take on a trip to Greece. And by the time she got home to North Carolina, the metal zipper on the bag had corroded shut.
Yes.
I'd never seen anything like it.
It was so salty in Greece that everything was covered in salt by the time I got back.
So Shelley bought me a new suitcase to replace it. And that's the bag I took to Dublin, and it decided that it was done, but I guess it was about time. So since I had a lot of Jameson to take home to the States, it was the perfect opportunity to buy bigger luggage. So TK Maxx to the rescue. Happy to say all liquor made it back to North Carolina safely.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yay.
So the first thing we've got to do, we're renting this car, and it's luckily an automatic. Thank you for renting an automatic, Beth. I really appreciate that. Because the wheel is on the right side of the car, and we have to drive on the left side of the road. And that part wasn't too bad because you're going with the flow of traffic, so you're not, worried about which side you're on, especially on the highway. But of course, the first stop that I have to make in this car is to a mall at the TJ Maxx so we can buy more luggage. And I found out at that point that the hardest part of that was parking, like judging how far to swing out because you're on a different side of the car. I did not expect that to be a problem, but that threw me for a loop first. But after that, we got on the highway. It was fine. Everything was fine. Yeah. Plus, we had a car that constantly spoke to us about being in the center of the lane and going over the speed limit.
And it was fully insured.
And yes, we opted for the full insurance, total coverage, because we had no idea what we were getting into. But Beth was supposed to be our main driver for this trip, but I ended up being the driver, and then Julie drove some too. And so it was quite the adventure, just the driving part, being able to
And for the people that haven't heard part 1, I wasn't there.
Yeah, and go back and listen to that.
Yeah. So you'll know why I wasn't there.
And so by the time we had decided to stop halfway between, we were headed to Dingle. That was our first stop. We were going to stay in Dingle for a few days, and it's on the west coast of Ireland. And most of the way down, we were on the highway, so it was no big deal. But once we got off the highway, I had my Google Maps GPS into the car, and we're going down the road. And we're in the countryside, and we're noticing your green rolling hills and beautiful stone walls of Ireland. And then we look up at one point after we've seen a sheep, and we see a sign that says, what was it, too late to turn back, or turn back now, or
it said something like, do not trust GPS satellite or satellite navigation.
It wasn't that one. It was the one that was telling us that we were getting ready to hit Connor's Pass. So it was like through vehicles, or like certain vehicles were not allowed up that road. And we were trucks. Like, what? What? Where are we? So first lesson in driving in Ireland is really pay attention to where your GPS is going to take you. Because we did see signs that said, don't trust sat navigation. Do not go down this road. Don't trust sat navigation. But we ended up on Connor Pass,
which was beautiful.
We don't know, really.
We have no idea what it looked like on the wonderful sunny day where we probably could have seen for miles. No.
And stopped and taken so many pictures.
We
stopped.
No, well, the thing is, we're like, oh crap. We were 11 miles from our destination going uphill, and we're like, well, maybe we should turn around and go the other way, which would be safer. But that was going to take us another hour. Oh. And we'd already told the people at the inn that we were going to be there at 6 or whatever time it was that we were going to be there. And we would arrive on time if we keep on Connor Pass. But if we turn around, we're going to be really late. And so we're like, okay, we'll just go ahead and do it. And then the road got narrower and narrower, and at one point it's a one-lane road, and it's supposed to be a one-lane road where 2 cars can pass. And that was really scary because you've got a drop off on one side and you've got a rock wall on the other, and poor Julie is driving at this point.
I am driving, and yes, we're going, and we see the signs, and I'm telling you, I flashed back till I was about 13 years old, and I was in line to go on Space Mountain at Disney. Where you see the signs like, if you have high blood pressure, do not ride this ride. If you do not ride this ride. And I'm like, Shelley, I don't think we're supposed to be on this road. And I was like, Rick Steves said. And I had thankfully read about this road a little bit, but in my mind, we weren't going on that road. And like Shelley said, the GPS took us that way. We trusted it. If we had planned to go that way, it probably would have been less white knuckle driving, but the sphincter factor was high. My eyes would never left the road. Like I said, I don't know what the scenery was. It was probably stunning. And Shelley and I, she first started trying to take video, and it all was fun and everything. And then all of a sudden, she thinks she stopped the video, and now we're recording the floorboard. And then there are several choice words happening. And then there's just silence. And it's just like,
it's a wonder our friendship survived.
We're going up. The road is narrow. Here comes about 3 cars coming down. And I have a whisper thin little crescent on the left side, which is the Rock Mountain side. And Shelley's on that side. I have no awareness of the shape and size of this car. I've just gotten to the point where I'm not ducking every time somebody's coming by me when I'm driving. And she's like, get over. And which the whole other time she was like, not too far. I'm in the ditch. And I'm like, okay. And I'm scared I'm just going to ram the car into the side of the mountain. But at the same time, these people need to get by. It was wild. So,
Oh my God. It was
but we never looked. I mean, my head never turned to look away from the road because it was that intense. And thankfully, I have some mountain driving experience in North Carolina, and that helped. Also, a little dash of driving in Hawaii where they don't believe in guardrails. That helped as well. So,
Yes.
but
Well, I'm
I don't
sorry
know.
I wasn't there so you guys could see the scenery.
we probably would have been screaming anyway. But yeah,
Yes.
because I'm like telling her, yeah, you got room on this side. You're good. You're good. Wait, no, you're not good.
It was fun
You could hear
in
it on that video.
hindsight.
In hindsight. And then when we made it over the crest and you could see the coast coming down, we're coming down the hill and the road gets wider and wider. And we're like, oh my God, we made
We
it.
made it. Oh, yes. My
Oh my
gosh.
God. No.
Yes.
And then, we were getting ready to leave Dingle, and the guy and Maurice, our innkeeper, was like, are you going down Connor Pass again? We're like, no, we are not going that way.
Not on purpose. Though I bet it would have been beautiful. I don't know if it would have been any better going back because we would have been facing downhill, and I don't know if that would have been
I
better
don't know.
or
And
more
plus,
scary.
you wouldn't be on the rock side. You would be on the drop off side going
Yeah.
back down. So at least we knew if we hit the rock wall, we weren't going to die because
Yeah.
we weren't going fast
Yeah.
enough. But on the other side,
Yeah.
it could get a little
Dicey.
dangerous, I guess.
I didn't think of that. Thank you.
No.
New fear unleashed.
Whew, Lord. And I thought the roads here in Portugal were narrow.
Yeah.
But we've safely arrived in Dingle, which is a charming little fishing town that is now a haven for American tourists.
Ah,
Definitely. I went for the Irish voices, and darn it if there weren't Americans everywhere.
There are Americans everywhere.
But I was one of them, so
Yeah, we kind of had to just join in with that. But it's an adorable little town, got great shops, great pubs. We enjoyed just walking around. The scenery was great. The people were nice. I mean, to use the same word I've been using over and over again, it was great.
it was sweet. I mean, so charming, and the little stream running through the town was cute, and the Easter lilies, I guess I was calling them calla lilies, but the blossoms were big as your head. They were huge and beautiful, and I was just taking pictures of them all the time. Very pretty.
We spent most afternoons just kind of hanging out in Dingle because we went exploring while we were there. We were about an hour away from the Ring of Kerry, and that was one of the things that we had on our list that we wanted to do. So, of course, we're driving the Ring of Kerry, which is also rather narrow. But luckily, we got advice from somebody. Who did we get? Did we get advice from somebody about going counterclockwise so you weren't behind
Rick
the buses?
Steves.
Rick Steves, thank you,
book.
Rick Steves. To go counterclockwise so we weren't behind the buses because the buses goes the other way.
ah,
Oh no, we were supposed to go clockwise. My bad.
Yes.
So those of y'all listening,
go clockwise.
clockwise because the buses go counterclockwise.
Uh-huh.
And so we made a list of some places that we wanted to stop along the way. And we didn't realize, I think, how long a drive it was. If we had driven it straight and not stopped for anything, it would have taken us 2.5 hours.
Right.
But we wanted to stop everywhere. Plus, it was going to take an hour before we actually started on it, more or less, from where we were.
Oh, right.
So we might have done a quarter of it, maybe.
We did the Arc of Kerry.
We call it the Arc of Kerry.
The Arc of Kerry. We went down to the Ladies' View
Yeah.
and the Stone Circle. I can't remember what little place was that.
What was that?
More.
Did you see the water? You got down to see the water?
No.
No, I don't think we ever saw the ocean.
Oh,
We didn't get that far.
I mean, we probably did like a quarter.
yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't do very much of it because it was narrow and it was windy. And of course, at one point we were tired of driving because we had driven into Dingle, in that harrowing drive the day before. And we were like, do we want to do this again? And so I think we just kind of wore out.
Yeah.
But we got to see some beautiful land. What was it? The ladies'
view.
The ladies' view was incredible.
Huh.
Yeah, and we stopped at a little cafe and we did some souvenir shopping there. And we ended up in a forest too. We were looking for a waterfall, but we ended up at a trailhead instead. But the forest was beautiful, and we got to see. Did we see deer?
We saw deer when we drove in, and it was just beautiful. I mean, I loved all the moss on the trees. It felt really magical.
It did.
It
Plus,
was really
our car
pretty.
was singing to us. It had this weird ethereal sound that came out of the car. So we were rolling down the windows so we could get the nice breeze and smell the forest. And I'm like, where's that music coming from?
It was kind of surreal. We were in fairyland.
Yes, but it was so cool. Yeah, the Ring of Kerry, I think, is something that we might want to do again next time, but really
no driving days on either time of that, because they said it could be like up to 5-6 hours if you're driving and stopping and appreciating the whole thing. So that's a whole day.
It's a kind of a whole day thing.
We just didn't have it in us after the day before, but if we had had a day to rest and not drive, we probably would have done it, and I think that's what I would do if we went back for that. I'd love to see it.
The name of the town where Ladies' View is Derrycunnihy.
Okay.
Does that sound familiar?
Not really.
Derrycunnihy.
But there was a stone circle we went down to. What was the name of that one? I don't know. I'll put it in the show notes somewhere.
Okay.
But there is a guy that has a Google map of the Ring of Kerry that shows you all of the stops and all of the places along it. And it was a wealth of information when we were planning that trip. So I'll make sure that I put that in the show notes because that was really helpful.
The Irish road trip. That's the guy. The Irish road trip. That was very helpful. I like his commentary as well.
Yeah.
Is he on Instagram, Julie?
I'm not sure. We just probably found it with a Google search because there was a Google map associated with it. So you could go to one stop and then, just go on to the next stop on his map, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really useful.
He is on Instagram, FYI, for those listening. It's called the Irish Road Trip.
Oh, great. Well, there we go.
I will follow.
That night with Dingle, we went back into town to go eat and look for some authentic Irish music in an Irish pub. And Dingle is full of Irish pubs.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't walk five steps maybe without running into one down there.
I do want to go to Dingle when we go back because I haven't been, but perhaps in March or October or something, it wouldn't be as full of American
It's full
tourists.
of the American tourists. I don't know. I think it was going to be anyway.
I didn't feel like it was overly crowded. I mean, it could have been a whole lot more crowded. It was fine.
Yeah. It was easy to get in. Yeah, to walk streets and get in and out of shops.
Oh,
we only had to wait. Yeah. We went to one restaurant where we had to wait about an hour, but then you just go next door to the bar and and get a drink, and they'll call you when your table's ready. So it wasn't.
How can that be bad?
No,
and they had live music out in the back too. So I mean, you could have sat out in their courtyard and waited. It was very lovely.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's no problem at all.
No.
And then the next day, we had a very special event planned. We were going to go hold a baby lamb.
Baby lamb.
And this was not that I don't love you, Julie, and I did want to travel with you, but I have to say, not getting to hold the baby lambs was one of the biggest disappointments.
Aww.
And not getting to go.
I didn't hold a baby lamb.
I know.
I petted one, though.
You're a cold heart.
I held a baby lamb, and I am a better person for it.
Good job, Julie.
I tell you, that baby was so sweet, and it was so light as a feather, this little one. We came in first, and there were several baby lambs. They had their own little
And did
place
they
with
jump
hay.
around in that little
They
baby
were
lamb?
sleepy. They were
Oh,
sleepy, and so I didn't pick one up when we first went in there because they were all settling down and kind of nuzzling against each other. It was so precious.
oh,
And then we went out and looked at the beehive huts and things around the property, and then we came back and they were up and awake. And there was one in the corner that I was talking to, and he was just like, "I'm done. Leave me alone." I'm like, "I'm not touching you. You're fine." And so the littlest baby lamb was there, and I was like, "I'm going to try to pick this one up." And so you just feel like they're so fragile and sweet. And so I just picked it up, and I'm holding it, and Shelly's taking a few pictures, and all of a sudden it starts licking my chin
oh.
and nuzzling on my face. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm dying." It was the sweetest thing. I was just about to cry. It was
Uh-huh.
so precious, and everybody was like, "Oh." Oh my gosh, I was just melting. It was great. And so then we put the lamps down, and they got to do their thing, but later on there's something we didn't do but other people did, so we got to see, and they were feeding the baby lambs. And
Uh-huh.
so they brought them out and had bottles and just basically said, "Stick it in their mouth," and then they would
Yeah.
just go into town. It was so cute. But
I
I
have
loved that
held
experience.
I have held and fed a baby goat before, but never a baby lamb.
Oh, you will.
And and I will. I will.
You will.
But Shelley, why didn't you want to hold a baby lamb?
It's a farm animal.
Bless.
I know. I mean, once you hold it and you want to squeeze it, it's not as tasty. So
Well,
it
I
still is. Is that what you said?
I can't I
So
couldn't eat one that I've already named.
yeah.
For
So
sure.
No.
For sure. But
no, but I enjoyed taking the photos, and the favorite part of mine was not necessarily holding the baby lamb because I didn't, but I enjoyed watching the sheep herding demonstration
oh
that they did
yes.
after that. So
That was amazing.
yeah, this guy, he had a dog named Rocky or
Rocky. Mm-hmm.
Rocky. Rocky was 9 years old, I think.
11.
11 years
Oh.
old.
11. Running around like a puppy.
Like a puppy, and he took them out, and there were only maybe 8 or 9 sheep in this field,
Something like
possibly.
that. Yeah.
There weren't very many, but the guy goes out, and he's got his herding staff with him, and he's talking to the dog, giving it voice commands, whistling, and then also hand signals the entire time. And this dog goes out, finds the sheep, and brings them back in. It was really cool to watch. So that part I
Yes.
enjoyed.
Yeah.
The farm working.
Yeah, the farm working. It was amazing. Some background on that I recall that I thought was fascinating is he said that it takes 3 years to train a sheep herding dog to do that. And Rocky was like one of the top dogs because he could respond to the voice, the whistle, and the hands up to 1.5 miles away,
Good
which was
heavens.
incredible. And he said, a lot of the dogs, they are only for close work, or they only respond to whistles, or they only respond to voice. So he was the whole package. And I mean, what an amazing dog. He said they're trying to train a new dog with Rocky, and they said he's got a long way to go. But a good teacher, I hope. Yes.
He's not a bulldog, is he?
No.
There'd be no hope.
There's no hope with the bulldog. No. He'd be snuggled up with the baby lambs.
Yes, he would.
Taking a nap.
Yes, he would.
Yes. So cute.
The other part of Dingle that we really enjoyed was what we called the Ring of Dingle.
Yep.
It's Slea Head Drive. And that is the
Yes.
drive that you take all the way around the peninsula.
And I actually heard there are people, and it might have been Rick Steves even in a very recent kind of post, who was recommending you do that now instead of Ring of Kerry because Ring of Kerry's gotten so crowded.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
It was
it was
beautiful.
incredible.
Yeah.
And you get sea views almost all the way around. I mean,
Hmm.
and we were lucky we were there in the middle of May and the weather was fantastic. We didn't have any rain the entire time.
Mm-mm.
And it was clear and it was hot. I was in a pair of shorts part of the
Wow.
time. So, I mean, that it
I
was
wished I had packed some shorts, and I bought t-shirts just because I brought some sweaters, and I was like, this is not gonna work.
Yeah.
It was in the 70s.
yeah.
Wow.
And we stopped a lot more on this one to stop and take pictures and pose and read things. And it's out there where I believe it was The Last Jedi was
Hmm.
filmed out
Oh,
there. So we got to stop and see the filming location of that. That was really neat.
and do you
It was cool.
remember you said the Ring of Kerry was 2.5 hours if you just drove continuously all the way
Mm-hmm.
around? Do you remember how long the, as you say, Ring of Dingle or Slea Head Drive would take?
45 minutes maybe if you don't stop. It's not very long. Or it didn't feel very long. We were gone maybe a couple hours.
Yeah, we didn't stop that many times. They say you can take 3 or 4 hours, but it was not that long at all. And it wasn't hard driving, but the lambs, they were on Slayhead Drive, so we had just started driving there, and
Ah,
Yeah, we
what a
just kept
view.
going. There was one part at the very tip of it where it got narrow, so it was hard to pass oncoming traffic. But the rest of the drive was not that hard at all.
yeah.
It was easy.
I think Maurice really wanted us to go on Slayhead
Yeah.
because we told him one morning, "Oh, we're going to the Ring of Kerry." He's like, "Well, you're going to do Slayhead," because he's from that area, and he was excited about the weather, and he's like, "I'm going to go swimming today." Uh,
Oh,
Everyone was very excited about the lack of rain, and but he wanted to make sure that we took that one too because I think that's got a special place in his heart. But I agree. I read that. They're like, go Slayhead. It's less cumbersome with tourists, and we didn't see any tour buses. I don't think they could go
I
very
think
many
there's
places.
one tour bus that does it, and it was the one we checked into. It even have an open top or something like that. There was a tour
ah,
bus you could take
Okay.
out there, but we just
Hmm.
drove it. And there were a lot more stops that we could have made around it where
yeah.
there were
Hmm.
sights to see, but we did what we felt. We pulled over when we wanted to and took some pictures and things. But I really enjoyed Slayhead Drive.
Yes.
I like that one best.
Would do again and
Would
stop.
do.
Yeah.
5
Would do.
stars. Yeah.
No notes.
Yeah.
No
No
notes.
notes.
In restaurants in Dingle, we ate at Murphy's Pub one night because they were just about to stop serving food, and I got seafood chowder I think that night. It was really good.
Hmm.
I think That's when I realized there were so many Americans in the restaurant. And I was like, wow. And then we ate at the Fish Box, which had fish chips that were big as your head. It was a
Fish
lot.
chips or fish and chips?
Fish and chips.
Oh,
I
okay.
have not been drinking today. Fish and chips that were as big as your head. They were delicious. And then we ate at the Dingle Pub.
I need clarification here.
Hmm.
Were the chips as big as your head?
No, the fish was.
The fish was. Okay.
Yes, it was a large piece of fish.
Okay.
You got to put that photo on the blog because it is an impressive piece of fish.
It is. And then we ate at Dingle Pub. I think I had a fish cake sandwich maybe or something. We'd gone into the Dingle Pub because they were supposed to be having live music. You could go into the bar area and sit wherever you wanted, but it was of course full. And so we ate in the restaurant, and they were very clear about when you go into the restaurant, you are here to eat. You must order a meal in order to sit in the restaurant area.
I think 2 entrees, whereas you had to buy 2 entrees too.
You had to buy
Or
an
each
entree per person.
person had to, yeah,
Yeah, in
to
order to
sit
sit
there.
in there. But we were right next to the band, so it was nice,
Yeah.
Good food. Good food,
I
good
had a
drink.
veggie burger.
There you
I
go.
had a veggie burger that night. I think it was Beyond Burger. It was good.
Yeah.
Very good. And more drinks.
And more drinks.
Imagine that.
There was a lot of Jameson and ginger and Guinness.
Yes.
Going around.
Yes. The band was good. It was fun to sit there.
Did you put any port in your
No. No. I didn't have any port the entire time.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was all Irish. All Irish all the time. All right. Anything else we can say about Dingle that we missed?
It was just sweet and charming. Lots of cute little cafes. We had coffee at one place, breakfast at another. I love those. We had some really good coffees.
And the place that we stayed offered you breakfast in the morning because it was like a bed and breakfast sort of thing. But it was a continental breakfast. And one morning we wanted eggs.
Yeah.
We wanted real food, so we got up that morning. That might have been, I can't remember when it was.
That's the day we drove up to Cliffs of Moher. That's the day we left.
It's the day we left.
Got up.
Okay. So the next day, we got up in the morning and we decided we're driving to Galway, but we're going to stop at the Cliffs of Moher on the way. And as we were headed out, that's when Maurice asked us if we were taking Connor's Pass again. And then he asked, "Are you taking the ferry?" And I was like, "No." And just by the look on his face, I had to change my mind right there.
Yeah.
And say, "Yes, we're taking the ferry."
Yes, we are.
He said
it was pretty.
It was a beautiful view. It's a nice way to go up the coast and see the coast of Ireland. And, to get the real experience, we needed to take the ferry. And when we left, I was like, man, okay, yeah, we're going to take the ferry. So I put it in the GPS. Now, here is where, from Dingle to Galway, I think it only should have taken us 3 hours, maybe. But it took like 6.
But you stopped.
Well, we stopped at the
cliffs
Cliffs of Moher, but because of the navigation, and we weren't on a highway, we were on all these back roads, and then sometimes the navigation was wrong. Like it would take us off a main road to go through this small little cut through somewhere, or to go through a cut road where there was a sign on it that said, "Do not go down this road." Do not follow your sat nav. So it took us much longer to get to Galway. And I think by the time we got to Galway, we were so exhausted and so cranky that I was
the meltdown had begun.
Yeah. Both of us were in meltdown mode.
We hit a wall.
Yeah, we hit a giant wall. Oh my gosh.
Only compounded by the fact that we couldn't lock the door on the new place where we were. I mean, it was a rigmarole to get into the apartment.
Because there were so many directions, and I'll have to cut this back around, but there were so many directions about how to get to the place. Then how many times you had to press in a code to get the car into the driveway, to get this door open, to get that door open. Then you had to do another code.
To the elevator.
To get and then once you get up, you have to walk a ways out to the apartment. It was a very large apartment right there at the docks. And then you had to punch in another whole different code to get the keys. And we could get into the apartment, but then when we went to lock the door, we couldn't figure out how to lock it to leave. So it's like, we're starving. We need food. We need to go grocery shopping for the morning. But we can't lock the door to the apartment.
Bless Shelley. Shelley volunteered to go out and gather the food. Thank you so much, because I was losing my mind.
We were both.
We needed food.
Yeah.
And what did Shelley choose to do in that moment? She called her wife.
Yeah, I had to call my wife and be like, you need to help me.
I can't lock the door.
Text the guy and tell him we can't lock the door, and I need food. It was a meltdown time.
But it was the only one we had the whole time. And we did it at the same time and got it over with.
There you go. There you go.
And once we ate, we like separated and went to bed. It was we were done for the day. We're like, nope, it's over.
Okay, but the good part of the day
Yeah.
was stopping at the Cliffs of Moher.
Yes.
I assume.
Yes. It was a beautiful drive in, and then of course the whole area of the Cliffs of Moher was incredible. Buy your tickets in advance before you get there. We bought them online so we could just drive right in. I didn't realize how big of a tourist area that was going to be. I kind of just pictured pulling up like we do in the Cliffs of Peniche.
Okay, when I went 25 years ago, because that's how long it's been since I've been to the Cliffs, that's exactly what it was like. There was no tourist center or whatever that is they have now that they built into the mountain. There wasn't even a real parking lot. You just sort of pulled off the road into this gravel area, and there were no handrails anywhere. There were no things that held you back when you got up on the tops of the cliffs. There was one sign at the beginning that said, basically, the cliffs can crumble, don't fall off. And then there was another sign on down that told you about a trail that you could take if you wanted to. And that was it. That was it. And when I was there were probably, maybe 8 people there.
Oh, God, wow. No, there were way more than that when we were there.
So I hear it's changed quite a bit.
There were large tour buses. They have a parking lot down by the cliffs where the tour buses can go, and then it's like, I think there's handicap parking down there, too. Uh-huh. We did park in a gravel parking lot.
But how would you even get up there if you were handicapped?
Oh, they've got
ramps.
They've paved all of that now. You've got ramps that you can go up through all of that. I mean, I think it would be hard to see over that wall if you were sitting in a wheelchair.
They did have shuttles going up and down for people who needed help. So, in the golf carts, they were going up and down. One terrifying thing, Shelley, did you see this? There was a couple who had a child in a stroller, and at the very top of that, they locked, quote unquote, locked the wheels on this stroller. The kids in the stroller facing downhill, and the parents go over to look at the view, and people are just like, oh, what is happening? I'm like, is this a trick? I mean, I was concerned.
It's like
everyone was looking.
Going to film this on their phone for, social media or something, and everybody's going to be rushing over to try to stop the thing. No, they just left it sitting there. And it's a steep incline. It wasn't like it would slowly roll. That thing would have taken off.
They were not Americans, were they?
Apparently not.
They were not. They were not. But that was crazy. But as you said, yes, it has changed. There's about 1 million visitors per year. This is one of the top tourist locations in Ireland now. So, wow, I wish I could have a snapshot of what you saw. That would have been amazing.
Well, and Sheila, hi Sheila, my friend who lived in Ireland for a while, she told me that it was a huge controversy when they built that. Is it a welcome center? Is it a what's the thing?
It's a welcome center. It has a cafe in it. It has a museum. It has a whole kind of Cliffs of Moher experience thing you can do.
Well, she was
and a gift shop.
Oh, of course,
and restrooms, of course.
She was telling me that when they built that, it was a huge controversy because the idea was to put it into the mountain so it would be as unobtrusive as possible to kind of, go into that. And people, well, first of all, they didn't even want more tourists to come or for all these restrictions to go in about where you can stand and all that. But they sure as heck didn't want that welcome center building. Now so many tourists come, I'm sure that everyone's glad they have it. Because it'd be a mess otherwise.
And they have, the trails are paved and blocked off. So if you're going down a trail on the left-hand side, there's a field of sheep, and they have signs up that's like, this is private property, do not cross over here. And then they've got it blocked off on the right where you would have to climb over something just to get onto the cliffs, so you're not allowed to go into that area. And it's probably good for safety and to keep the cliffs from eroding so much from people walking all over them. But it's a tourist experience now.
But nonetheless, still spectacular views, right?
The views were incredible, yes.
Amazing. I wish I had binoculars because there were birds flying everywhere. You could see there were little crevices and little cave-like places in the walls, and I would have loved to seen that a little bit more close up.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah.
You can borrow our binoculars when you come here next time, and we'll go out to Peniche because I hear it's very similar, evidently.
Yeah, Peniche is just as pretty to me as
And you can look out there.
It's a date.
We drive into Galway finally that night, exhausted, melting down, needing food.
Yes.
Crashing.
So
crashing.
After you ate and you went to bed, you got up the next morning all refreshed.
We did. We got up and we found a place to go get some coffee. And then we found a place, I think, to eat breakfast. We got coffee, then we got breakfast. We were like, we're eating today.
Yeah.
Eating is important.
And then what did you do?
The hop on, hop off bus, I think, is the first thing we did. Now, Galway's not very big, so the hop on, hop off bus was like 45 minutes total. But it was neat to be able to get a lay of the land very easily with that and some background information about the city of Galway. And so that's the first thing we did.
Mm-hmm. We went to the Latin Quarter pretty quickly after that little sweet cafe in the alley. That was so in the nice guy. I wish I remembered the name of it, but wonderful.
I'm sure it's on my Google map, which I'll put in this too. Yeah. After we did the hop on, hop off bus and we got it figured out, where everything goes. Plus those tickets last for like 48 hours or something like that. So if you're there for 2 days, you don't have to do the whole thing in one day. You can like do part of it and then the next day come do the other part, which I think all hop on, hop off buses need to do that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Personally.
Agree.
Well, you can buy multi-day tickets on all of them, but you're buying it.
Yeah. This one was with the price of the ticket, I think. You got 48 hours.
So tell me about the Long Walk area. Isn't that what it was called?
Yeah.
Yeah?
The Long Walk. It was so pretty. It had all the little painted houses all along the Long Walk.
It's waterfront property there.
Yes. Beautiful. There were swans in that water too, which was gorgeous, I believe.
It's right there at the Spanish Arc, which was called the most underwhelming tourist attraction in Galway. Was it small?
He said,
it's like at the entrance to a park, kind of almost.
Yeah.
It's just an arc. I mean, you wouldn't know what it was.
The guide on the bus was like, I think people are looking for the Arc de Triomphe. And he's like, they're very underwhelmed by this little archway. We have to point it out. People don't know
I probably saw the Long Walk when I was there, but I don't remember it.
It kind of reminds me of the houses kind of in Amsterdam along the canals. You know how they're kind of stacked, and every one of them was painted something different, so they're really pretty through there. And they make a reference in the tour to Steve Earle's song "Galway Girl," and then the Ed Sheeran one also. Yeah, it's called the Long Walk because it's a long walk.
Oh well, okay.
And a lot of people do that walk at night as part of the exercise routine sort of thing.
We did have a cute little art market that we went to. What was the name of the square?
Eyre Square.
Eyre Square.
Yeah, and that was in the middle of Galway. It's right there next to a park where John F. Kennedy had done a speech.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But they have a nice little market. We were there on a weekend on Saturday and Sunday, so I know the market's there on Saturday and Sunday. And it's mostly artists and artisans, and then, of course, a bunch of food trucks, too. But we stopped, and that's where I bought my painting that I brought back of Galway Bay. And you bought something, too.
I did. I brought a darling little print of a rabbit, and it said, "Make your own moonlight." and it had some
Oh,
gold on it. And I bought some greeting cards by an artist, I think watercolor artist there. She's from Galway, got to speak with her a little bit. So I was really excited to find some little things that I could just tuck in my luggage to take home.
and I love finding the local artists like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a neat little
There's, I
market.
mean, sometimes, it's not that, they might not be that great, but a lot of times you really trip over somebody that's so good and you really,
Yeah,
enjoy buying their art.
definitely.
Galway, I thought was a great city. It's very walkable. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere we went, there's no reason we didn't get in the car the whole time we were there. We kept it parked. We walked everywhere, and then we took the hop on hop off bus over to the
Salt Hill.
Salt Hill. That's it. Salt Hill. And there
Salt
was a market
Hill.
over there too, but it was not as impressive. But Salt Hills, where it's kind of like their beach. That's where they go to
Uh,
beach. And there's some nice bars and restaurants down there. We didn't spend a great deal of time over in Salt Hill. We just got off to look around. But we did. We spent most of our time in and around the Latin Quarter, where all the shops and restaurants are. And those streets are blocked off to pedestrians. And so everything you could possibly want is right there in that area.
no.
Mm-hmm.
And so
More
we,
buskers,
yeah,
people
buskers, we went
singing.
bar hopping that day.
Yes.
And we go into this one place. It's the King's Head, which David actually told me about yesterday. Is the reason why that bar is called the King's Head is because they needed to kill the English king, but no Englishman wanted to do it. So the Irishman said he would do it, and he chopped the guy's head off. And so as a reward, he got the land where that bar is.
Oh my gosh.
So there's a restaurant behind it called the Chop House.
Oh,
But we went in because we wanted to hear Irish music. They were advertising Irish music, and we go in, and there's a group of people in there that we couldn't figure out whether they were Mennonites, maybe.
No.
We don't know. And that's when we were all watching the Gaelic football in there, which is a whole nother
mm-hmm.
experience. It's only played in
In
Ireland.
Ireland.
It's not played anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But there were a lot of signs up in pubs that said Irish spoken here.
English
English
tolerated.
But it was cool. That's where I saw the English football or the Gaelic football for the 1st time there.
It was just a really fun experience to be in that bar with all those people in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was,
And it was the middle of the day.
it was crowded. I mean, I think we have a video where the traditional music is playing. You can't see the musicians for all the people. You've
Yeah.
got such a varied audience, and then you pan over by the bar, and then you see all the people watching the game. It was just a really fun atmosphere. That was a highlight. Just being in that energy was really cool.
So, Julie, what was your favorite part of this trip?
Well, let's see. I loved Dingle's charm. I thought it was really sweet town, little port town. The seafood was wonderful. I loved Galway's music and the kind of hustle bustle contrast to Dingle. I absolutely thought Cliffs of Moher were magnificent. Love it. It was beautiful. And baby lambs! OMG, baby lambs.
Baby
Baby
lambs.
lambs.
Baby
Baby
It's
lambs.
got to
lambs.
be everybody's favorite are baby
I
lambs.
really hate I miss the baby lambs.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Galway. I think I was too hung up on the who was actually in Dingle at the time to really enjoy Dingle and all the pubs and everything that it had to offer. Plus we had been driving, plus we went to the Ring of Kerry that one day, so, but I think Galway, I really just liked the town. I liked walking through the Latin Quarter. I liked having all the pubs there. The weird thing about it, as I've been writing this blog post that goes with it, Galway you do in a day, and the rest of it is all trips out in the world somewhere, somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a great place to base yourself and then go out and do other things
Yeah.
that are all right there.
But that was my favorite part.
What was your not so favorite part, Shelley?
Oh my God, narrow roads. Driving on those narrow roads, I didn't think it would be so bad after you got used to driving, because here in Portugal, the roads can get really narrow and really, really quick. But I've never felt like I got so close to a mountain before or so close to a rock wall. And I mean, and then watching other people trying to avoid buses and running into those walls. And I hated that. I hated the thought of having to do that. But other than that, everything else went fairly smoothly.
Yeah. The driving part was the most nerve-wracking and probably energy draining part of our whole trip.
Yeah.
And it made me think to go back, I would probably fly in to Shannon and just stay on the west side of the island and explore all that we missed next time. That would really reduce hours of driving, but it's going to be stressful if you're not used to driving on narrow roads, which none of us were used to that.
Not those kind of narrow roads.
No wiggle room.
None.
And I don't know why they associate Ireland with a lot of drinking, because I don't know how you could drive those roads and not be stone cold sober and not die.
That is true. Yeah. I would not have one beer and try to drive those roads. No.
Well, I think if you've had a couple of beers and you scratch the side of your car, you don't care so much.
Full coverage.
Full coverage.
Not that we condone drinking and driving.
No, we do not condone drinking and driving
Yes.
by any means. But yes, that was just, that was too much. Yeah. But next time, I'm not sure about the flying into Shannon part because I haven't really researched it, but that sounds like an excellent idea, so that we could base ourselves maybe in Galway and then travel around to all the different places instead.
Yeah, because there were several things that you didn't get to do that I've done, like the Aran Islands. Those are incredible. And a lot of those day trips are based out of Galway, right?
They are. There's a lot of day trips
them.
based out of Galway.
Yeah. Going to Clifton, which is a wonderful little town. The Kenmare National Park is just beautiful and has some great outdoor opportunities, both tough hikes and easy hikes. And then one of my favorite things, which was Kenmare Abbey. They have Victorian gardens. It was Benedictine nuns who founded it in World War I.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, and it is incredible. So you could do all of that, plus you could do a lamb experience up in that area, because when I was originally going, that's where I was going to book it, was up there, and stay in Galway a little longer.
If we stayed a little longer, we could see all the baby lambs.
Yeah, we could.
And all the land.
Yes. And I haven't researched how long it takes to go from like Westport, which is the larger city just north of Galway. I haven't researched how long it takes to go from there to like Belfast and the Giant's Causeway. I'm not sure if it makes more sense to do it there or if it makes more sense to do it from Dublin. We'll have to check that out. But that's definitely, going into Northern Ireland is really great.
Yeah, I would eventually like to do that.
I loved Belfast, and I did not get to do the Titanic Museum, which is supposed to be incredible.
Yes.
Sinking ships are scary.
Yeah. Fun fact, they are recreating down to the China, the Titanic, and they're going to call it the Titanic 2. And it is going to go the exact same route as the original Titanic.
Both of us got the same look on our face.
I know.
I don't think so.
What could go wrong?
So what could go wrong?
So question, would you go on this historic trip?
No.
I've seen them.
We're already reliving part of history now. I don't want to live that one through.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it either.
No.
I heard a comedian say that he wanted to dress up in a top hat and the dress of the time for when they come back into the harbor at the end, assuming they do, and wave his hat and go, "What took you so long?"
You know, if they parked it right there, I think they'd get a ton of business.
Yeah.
As soon as it starts moving, forget about it.
Yeah.
I'd go on it if it wasn't going to go anywhere. I would go on it, and I would love to see it. I think it would be magical, but nah,
No.
Don't think you. I don't think I'm going to take that little trip.
No.
All right. Well, I think that about does it for our epic road trip through Ireland.
Part two of the Ireland podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do we got coming up next? We are going to northern Portugal for a week.
Yes, with our niece. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie. And we're going to go to Braga.
In the Douro Valley.
And we're going to relive some great moments from last year, plus see some new things.
Yes, we are.
And we'll have a podcast about that, I'm sure, coming up.
And we're going to Scotland in August for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Woo-hoo.
That'll be like 3 podcasts.
I know.
Well, one of them will be us sitting on a couch for a couple days, probably.
It's going to be epic.
Epic. It'll be an epic trip.
Yes, it is.
And then after that, Beth's getting knee surgery.
So excited.
So excited.
Yes.
So lots of downtime we will have.
Yeah, they're clipping my wings for a little while, Julie.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll have new wings and you will be rolling. It'll be great.
That's right. Ready for our next trip, which I will not miss.
No, you will not.
Thank you, Julie, for joining us.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun. It was great.
It was. I enjoyed it. We're going to have more guests on.
Yeah,
I think.
I like it.
We can figure out how to
or
do
just
it
take me on more trips. Yeah.
Oh, we could do that too.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Please hit that subscribe button. If you want to see more of our pictures, you can get on our Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. We've also got a blog at www.forus.com, so you can check that out. And I guess we will say boa tarde.
Boa tarde.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks for wandering with us. If you had a laugh, learned something new, or just enjoyed the ride, be sure to follow us on all of our social media at Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube, and I think that's it. Check out our website at www.forus, that's www.forus.com, and drop us a line at our email address at wandering@www.forus.com. We'd love to hear from you, your stories, questions, or favorite travel fails. Until next time, keep exploring, keep laughing, and remember, wandering works for us, and it just might work for you too.